Well, hello, and welcome to Cozy Couch Corner for another episode of Tea and Tarot on another grey, wet day in Wales. And it's windy again, but not this morning. This morning it was still, and all the birds were out. It was fab. They were all dotting around. They were sitting on the telephone line. They were all over the place. The starlings again, the sparrows, there's something else, might have been the blue tits, the crows, the magpies. I heard the seagulls, I didn't see them. And all the sheep were all dotted about in the field behind me. They've all got bits of spray colour on them, the sheep. And I was trying to work out dates, so I think it means, and some of them have the same colour and some of them then have, and usually I think, where are we, November, it probably means how many lambs they're having, because they're probably lambing, don't know, some people do it early, but otherwise it's March or April, some February, but yeah, I'm not sure how long it takes them, to be honest. The gestation period of a sheep, I don't know. So they're all rocking, like some of them purple, got purple marks on them. Can't remember the other colour. I think it was just the purple. I was like, oh, purple. But so they're all dotting around. They don't look particularly big, but then, like I said, I don't know why I got February in my mind, because I knew someone that kept sheep, and she'd do hers for Easter, or at least aim for Easter, which is more sort of March, April, depends on the moon, doesn't it? The moon cycles, because that's more dependent on moon cycles. That it's not a set date every year. But yeah, it'd be interesting if they stay here, because often they move them around fields, and they've sort of disappeared off somewhere, and I don't see them for months at a time. I haven't seen the cows lately. There's a lot more sheep here, so maybe they brought a lot of them over. There's a lot of sheep in Wales anyway, but I think there's a lot of sheep for this farm. There's just fields spread out all over the place. So I quite like seeing them mooching about, doing their thing. Very calming, actually, because mostly they don't get spooked. There's not things really around here to spook them. So they're just very sort of placid, little clouds with legs and heads tootling about. I think did they got tails here? Yeah, I think the first time I came to Wales and I saw sheep, I thought they had a different breed of sheep here, because the ones where I lived in England, down the south of England, didn't have tails, and the ones over here had tails, and I was like, have they got a different type of sheep? I didn't know that in England they dock the tails. So I learnt that. I'm coming down from the anxiety of finding a rather large spider in my house. It's been going on for a few days, and they were staying out of the way. But I could see them, and I was like, they were quite placid, and they were quite just sort of sticking in their own corner. Some spiders will run away from you. Some of them don't. But anyway, I went in the bathroom last night to go to loo, and there it was, sat on the bath mat, and I just thought, I cannot use the toilet. Well, that spider is there. So I stuck a cup over it, a beaker, hair washing beaker, and well, I did about what to do about it, and I didn't want to do anything in the dark and tired. So this morning, in the daylight, I opened the bathroom window, and I got a piece of cardboard gently under it, and I put the spider out. And then I have to deal with the guilt. I had to deal with the guilt of putting a cup over it. Then I had to deal with the guilt of putting it outside, even though it would set my nervous system off and it was giving me anxiety the last few days knowing it was there, even though, like I said, it was very placid. But yeah, I think it's easier to put spiders out when there's somebody else there to open things if you sort of do them straight away. But yeah, and I had to sort of gear myself up for it. But yeah, I hope it's all right. They say you shouldn't. There's house spiders and there are outside spiders, but I don't know how you know which ones are which, and whether they can fend for themselves outside or what. It shouldn't have been too much of a temperature change anyway between inside and outside, but and it was dry and it wasn't windy, so they stand a chance. And then I was looking for a spider catcher that you can do one-handed, but a lot of them that are out there, the ones I looked on Temu, and the cheap ones are tiny and they're too small. I don't know what sort of bugs they get in China, but apparently they must be really small because this spider catcher, the box that you catch it in was, and I looked at it and I got my tape measure out to check, and I go, that's not big enough because you're not supposed to damage the legs. So apparently they need, well, yeah, I'm sure they need the legs anyway. But they need the legs for like web spinning and everything. So yeah, so and I knew there was another one, so I had to go search for one that was bigger. And although you can still use a beaker and a bit of card. It was a bit of card. I couldn't, like one of those envelopes Amazon sends you things in, so that worked. Sometimes paper's too flimsy. Yeah, the spider was giving me anxiety, which wasn't the spider's fault. But then when I put it out, then I have to deal with the guilt of putting the spider out. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And that's why am I so emotional about it? Why am I not more pragmatic about it? But anyway, there we are. Just do the tarot. Oh, I don't know where the week's gone. I don't. Okay. What do we need to know? Friday, the 28th of November, 2025, please. Yeah, that was clear. Oh, interesting. Right, do check what it is before you hold it up and say, right, page of coins reversed. Double check I said the right thing. No, it's cups. It's cups, can't read. Page of cups reversed. I didn't think it felt right. It didn't feel right when I said coins. And also, I couldn't see the coins. Normally they're obvious. Right, what other one are we having? Are we having this one? 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 Right. Are we having it that way up? Three of coins. Again, I think we had that. Oh no, we had a three of something else. We had three cups the other day that we celebrate, but this is also quite celebratory. I crossed my legs over and now I haven't got places to put my cards. Right. Do you want this one? Okay. Got all the cards we need. Okay, so we're doing these two. So Page of Cups reversed. Usually we're untying ourselves. We're Footloose and Fancy Free I've got. Because Paige is sort of that youthful, starting off on a different journey. It's sort of, it's similar. It's not the same as one, but it's also, it has sort of resonance with the one, the end of a journey, and also the Fool, and it's got that sort of energy with it. That's what sort of journey we're taking, and I've gotten. So we don't get to know that. We are releasing ourselves. What are we releasing ourselves from? Other people? Other people. And that could be not necessarily people that are around, it could be people that are around now, around us, but it could also be the effect or the words of people from our past that have greatly affected us negatively. Negatively. Because we're blooming. Oh, I do like a blooming. Bit more of a spring in our step. So if we haven't had that yet, especially if you've been feeling like a lead weight, bit more of a spring in our step, a bit lighter, a bit more uplifted, a bit more joyful. And that probably links in with the other card, but I've still got to stick on this card. Okay, what else are you telling me? Wait and see. I got mouth zipped. Wait and see. Something good coming. But that's kind of been what the readings have been the last few days. Something good is coming. Right. And there's like, oh no, there's one behind him, behind his head. And just looking at the circles, and I was thinking they're moons. The one behind his head is a moon, and the rest, I'm being told, are suns. The sun is like the happy, fulfilling, joyful, bright. Everything's bright and shiny and lovely card. And the moon that's sort of behind his head is more subconscious, intuition, that sort of thing. That's to do with our head, isn't it? No, okay, nothing else from there. 3 of coins. Bang a drum. That wasn't what I was expecting. So I was trying to think of the question and I couldn't formulate the question. Bang a drum. Are we drawing attention to ourselves? Do we want to draw attention to ourselves? Yep. Is it like blowing our own trumpet? It's like, stop shrinking, stop hiding, stop. If you're doing it, stop dumbing yourself down, or trying to make other people comfortable by being less than, or by hiding your intelligence or your skills. And I mean, it doesn't mean showing off. It just means, projecting. No, showing up as you and not as a lesser version of yourself. because you don't want to be too much, or you don't want to be too loud. You don't want to make other people feel inferior. It's not about that, and it's not about lording it over people. It's just about quietly being who you are and not shrinking back, because so often we have been silenced, or we then go on to silence ourselves, or to make out we're less capable than we are. I have to say, often it's women with men. But yeah, but we don't need to hide our light under a bushel. We can shine as we are. And we can do it without arrogance. Just put it out there. And we can celebrate everything that we are. Because the problem is, when we start dumbing ourselves down and we start shrinking ourselves, if we do it for long enough, we can forget the skills that we had. We can forget how whole a person we are, how intelligent we are, how skilled we are, how articulate we are, how intelligent we are, how anything we are. If we've shrunk ourselves, or we've dimmed our own light. And yeah, sometimes it's other people, but we got in the first card, we're releasing ourselves from that, aren't we? Okay, now I'm putting it together. We're releasing ourselves from the people, past or present, that have limited us. It's basically about limitations. It's about other people limiting us, or us limiting ourselves. And a lot of us limiting ourselves, some of that can be out of fear. A lot of that can just be the criticism that's now internalized, or patriarchy, and just the way people have treated us, and things people have said to us. That's become internalized. So it's not just what happened then and other people now, but it's what have we held on to? What have we held on to that's limiting us? What limiting beliefs do we have? In what ways are we shrinking ourselves? In what ways are we not speaking our truth, or silencing ourselves, quieting ourselves? In what way are we not showing up as the bright, shiny, glorious people that we really are? There we are then.